Hello, busy professionals, and welcome to episode number 29 of the You Deserve a Luxury Vacation podcast. I'm excited because today we're going to interview Chris and Ashley from Travel Insured. They're going to answer all the frequently asked questions that I get regarding travel insurance. Travel insurance is very important, especially in these times. You don't want to miss this one. Welcome. You're listening to the You Deserve a Luxury Vacation podcast, where I provide valuable information to help busy professionals plan their next luxury vacation. I'm your host, BELVIN Baldwin II. So let the planning begin. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the You Deserve a Luxury Vacation podcast. I'm here with Chris and Ashley from Travel Insured, and I am just so happy that they're here. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, thanks. Thanks for having us.
Great. They're here to, give us some information about travel insurance. And I know from my standpoint, I want it for all my clients whenever they're traveling. I want to make sure that you have travel insurance to have peace of mind. So I want to just start off and just kind of ask some of the frequently asked questions out there, because we get these questions a lot. So first off, why should I get travel insurance if I know I'm going on the trip? So that's a question we get a lot. So shoot.
Sure. Well, it's a great question. I think, especially as we're moving out of the tail end, hopefully, of COVID-19, there are still a lot of unforeseens, right, out there. Number one being, if in the event that you do test positive for the coronavirus prior to your departure, and you're on one of our travel protection plans, we do have coverages that do apply if you seek a medically qualified physician. That's a reason for trip cancellation coverage. You look at differences like, let's say, the death of a family member, or you're required to work where you had previously approved time off from your employer. There's inclement weather prior to your trip that forces you to cancel. These are just a few things, in particular, or with our new plan in mind under the Worldwide Trip Protector, we now have coverage in the event that there's a travel advisory warning to the destination you're traveling to.
Okay, good. So for example, let's just say I'm going to the Caribbean, and when I booked it, we didn't know a hurricane was going to happen. Will this help me out?
It certainly will. Would you like to interject on that one, Ashley?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the great things about our protection policies is hurricanes in general. So before, in the past, our policies only used to protect your destination, right? So if I was going to the Caribbean, if there's a hurricane in the Caribbean, it would only protect that destination. Now our policies actually will cover you if there's a hurricane warning at your home or even at your destination. So our policies now have a vast protection policy coverage that can apply to every traveler.
Great. Well, that's always good to know. So let's get on to the next one, because I got a few of them. I know a lot of people have been anxious about this podcast. So I get this question: if I'm traveling domestically and I have health insurance, do I really need travel insurance?
It's a great question. And certainly we've been getting it a lot more so where, travelers, maybe they normally take international vacations, but because of COVID, maybe they're going out west to a national park or doing some things domestically, going to a theme park. But it is crucial to still have coverage. I mean, you take a look at our new plan that came out, our Worldwide Trip Protector Edge product. That's going to be more of a middle of the road type of product. Going to give you $10,000 worth of accident and sickness medical expense with the ability to upgrade to $50,000. And then you also have $100,000 worth of medical evacuation and repatriation coverage. I think that's going to be crucial from a domestic standpoint. And you have also some built-in benefits like a 24/7 concierge. So if you need an emergency cash advance, or you need to get to a U.S. approved hospital, we can make arrangements, and we have a boots on the ground company that can assist in that process. Or let's say that you're en route, your flight gets delayed. Now you need assistance with your missed connection or to ultimately get along to your destination. So these are just a few of the concierge services that we do offer additionally. As long as you're traveling, I would say 100 miles or more away from your residency, it's imperative to have some type of travel protection coverage.
Okay. So are we saying, for example, let's just say it's domestically and we're going from Atlanta to Vegas. Let's just say we have a health issue. They have health insurance, so it seems like they could possibly go to the hospital in Vegas. Would it be beneficial? Sometimes they want to go back to their own provider. How would that travel insurance help them, even though they have health insurance? I'm pretty sure their health insurance is domestically, so they can, get help in Vegas. Can you kind of tell us, how it can help them in that particular situation?
Sure. Ashley, do you want to take that particular one?
Yeah, absolutely. So with our health insurance, even if it's domestic, some of us have an extremely high deductible, right?
Right.
So say we are on our trip, we all do. You got to love deductibles, right?
Right.
Say you're on your trip and you do have to seek medical attention. One beautiful thing about our protection policy is you can utilize your own health insurance, but say you have a deductible, your deductible you can actually apply towards the health insurance under the policy.
Wow.
Then say you are, which is awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then say you are in Vegas, you did have to seek medical attention, but now, God forbid, say you broke your leg and you need to come home and a commercial flight isn't doing it for you. Our policies do have that medical repatriation, which will repatriate the client back to their home in whatever sense the way it needs, whether it's a commercial flight, whether it's a commercial upgrade where they need to have a lay down flight or whatever it may be. The policy can work with the client, even if there are domestic, to kind of get them back to their home so they can secure medical attention and be more comfortable.
Yeah, that would be nice because, if you had that, I've heard of incidents where people go down the stairs, they break an ankle, and having a regular commercial flight when you've probably maybe flown coach and you need to upgrade or you need to have a certain flight to help you, that would be great. It seems like that insurance will come in and help you in that situation. That's good. Good. Anything else that I may have missed when it comes to that portion that you want to speak about?
I think the only thing I want to add to that is the beautiful thing about what Chris was talking about with that non-emergency assistance service. They can actually organize all that for the client. So if a medical emergency does happen, the client's probably going to be stressed. They're going to be overwhelmed. They can simply pick up the phone, call that assistance service, and they can organize everything for them and even start the claim process on their behalf as well.
Great. All right. That's great to know. Great to know. So let's get to the next one here. What are some things that travel insurance covers that people may not know about? Because when I'm talking as a travel advisor, a lot of times clients will say, well, I know I'm going on the trip. I don't need it, for canceling. That's all they think about is, travel insurance may cover you if you cancel. Can you just talk about some things that are a part of the policy that a lot of people may not know about?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my favorite things about travel insurance is there are so many hidden benefits within the plan documents. So a lot of things that people don't think about are things like travel delays. So if you're on your trip, you get delayed, what ends up happening? Most people think like, hey, I'll book another flight. I'll get a hotel for the night. My airline's going to cover it. And it is all said and done. Mm-hmm. What ends up happening sometimes is if you do have a delayed flight, the airline may give you some coverage, but you're still out of pocket for other expenses like your food for the night. If you're a family of 6 and you all can't fit in one room that the airline gives you, so you have to purchase another room, that happened to our family. We were delayed for, oh my God, like 4 days, and they expected 6 of us to be in one little room. And we were like, absolutely not. Like, this isn't, we'll need more than trip delay after this is all said and done. But with that being said, the insurance will pick up for meals and accommodations, for any additional expenses they need to purchase when they're being delayed. There's also hidden benefits for things like change fees. So if the client did need to make a change to their airfare for something that is unexpected, they can submit the cost of their change fee with the airline ticket. Okay. Trip interruption as well. A lot of people don't think about this. They say I'm going on their trip, but no one ever anticipates having to come home early from their trip. So trip interruption alone is, you're truly interrupting your trip. You're coming home early and, there's benefits that can apply for coverage.
Well, that's great to know. I think I talked to you guys about this earlier. I just left Greece, and when I returned, my bags were not with me. So they did not deliver our bags for 3 days later. And you all talked about how that I could have basically covered that with my insurance. That could be another option out there. You never know when your bags are going to be delayed or something of that nature. So let's get next to, this is one that I get because I work with a lot with busy professionals. So Showtime Travel, our whole mission is to design luxury vacations for busy professionals. Some of them may state to me, hey, I don't really need travel insurance because my credit card provides me with travel coverage when I travel. So let's touch on that. Does it really provide you coverage, or is it kind of just the bare minimum? Chris.
It's a great question. It's one that we've gotten often. And I think it is contingent on the credit card provider, right? Mm-hmm. I think with Chase Sapphire or Amex, they may have some additional benefits that others may not carry. But when you compare a credit card company with their quote unquote travel insurance offerings versus a third party travel insurance company like Travel Insured, it's really not a comparison. I mentioned earlier, we have over 30 reasons for trip cancellation and trip interruption. When it comes to travel protection, we have some of the most robust offerings from a benefit limit standpoint. I can almost bet my last bottom dollar that credit card company won't provide $100,000 worth of medical coverage on a primary basis or $1 million worth of medical evacuation and repatriation of remains. And if I were in that situation, I would feel much more comfortable filing a claim with you, BELVIN, and your preferred provider in Travel Insured, and knowing you have a relationship with your business development manager and can get those questions and get things done in a timely fashion versus filing a claim with the credit card company where it could be a crapshoot if the claim is actually going to be paid or if it's denied. So it really is a relationship, and knowing you have trusted vendors like Travel Insured that you work with. So when push comes to shove, we're there for your client. We're attentive, we're responsive, and ultimately we'll get to them and take good care of them. So I think it's very important nowadays to truly compare apples to apples, the plan, knowing what are the lists of covered reasons, interruption reasons, what are the actual benefit limits, and also where am I traveling to? Am I staying domestic or am I going international? So you're certainly going to want the best type of coverage you can get if you are going on that long haul flight and going into international territories.
Okay, great to know. Great to know, because it seems that maybe I'm wrong in this, I don't know, but it seems like it's a set amount of coverage based on credit cards. But with a third-party travel insurance, you can upgrade the amount of coverage or whatever you need for that specific type of travel.
Correct. You bring up a good point, because with our new plans, they are truly a la carte. So if you find you want a little bit more of medical coverage, you have the ability to upgrade. And we've got some additional specialty benefits. Like Ashley mentioned, that specific travel and convenience bed rest benefit for the quarantine coverage. It's only $13 to add that on. That's going to provide $4,000 worth of coverage if you have a traveler who does test positive in destination. They have added expenses, meals, transportation. So we have that customization. So you can truly pick a policy that works for you based on your needs.
All right. That's great to know. Great to know. So that brings me to my next point then is, what is enough travel coverage? We see so many different policies from medical. It covers so much. Medical evacuation. What does that really cover? How much do you need? Baggage delay. You may have something that they'll say $200 per 4 hours or $500 for the day. Where does it begin? So help me out to figure out what's the minimum or how much coverage should a person get?
That's a great question. This was actually one of my favorite questions when I was in customer care, because our clients would call me and say, listen, you have like 8 different policies. What's enough coverage? Like, what do I need? And it all simply comes down to the comfort level of the client, but also nowadays the travel requirements put in place by destinations. So what we're seeing more frequently with cruises, with destinations, with tour operators, suppliers. Everyone has some type of criteria that they need. So you'll see that some destinations will say you need $30,000 worth of emergency COVID coverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll need $2,000 for additional COVID lodging requirements. So our industry as a whole right now is actually putting restrictions and requirements out there of what coverage clients truly need. So when I talk about insurance, I always say that worldwide trip protector is that golden policy because it's going to give you all the requirements essentially that a client may need. It's going to give you sufficient coverage when it comes to medical and the evacuation. But if clients are out there shopping and they're like, how much should I get? I always say for medical evacuation, don't leave the country with less than $500,000 for medical evacuation.
Okay.
Emergency medical, don't leave the country with less than $50,000. And then always make sure you have a cancellation policy that's so much more than just cancellation due to sickness.
Okay.
We've had instances, not to be a Debbie Downer, but we've had instances where people were in the Caribbean, lived in Miami, needed a medical evacuation because they got injured on their trip. And going from the Caribbean to Miami, they were well over six figures when it comes to medical evacuation.
Wow.
So
just for that short
insane.
flight.
Like,
yeah.
Literally, we all know it's like what, 15-minute flight to go to Nassau or whatever it may be, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So I always tell clients, like, don't think about like, oh, $1 million. I'm never going to use that. You always want to be overinsured when it comes to your medical, your baggage, your evacuation, because things can escalate very quickly.
Well, that's great to know. Great to know. I get that question a lot. And the things that come up are usually, you were talking about canceling and what if you do have to cancel? The pandemic came about. Travel insurance has been here well before the pandemic, but I think a lot of people, really started talking about it more because of the pandemic, because things were out of their control. And cancel for any reason insurance came up a lot. Maybe I can just cancel for any reason. I don't have to have that special covered reason, so I can just cancel for any reason. Can you give a little description of what truly is cancel for any reason insurance? That's a buzzword in the industry. It's a buzzword in the travel community. Just discuss that.
Sure. It's been a hot commodity really in the last year and 3/4 since the pandemic has taken place. Cancel for any reason provides 75% cashback coverage on your non-refundable travel expenses.
Wait a minute. Did you say cashback or travel credit? Because make sure we want to
Right,
emphasize.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So bold, italicized. Yeah, it is cashback. So if you were to file a claim, it is cashback. It's not a credit. It's not a voucher or anything along those lines. As long as you understand that the plan is available under the Worldwide Trip Protector plan. As I mentioned, the plan itself is now more a la carte. So you have the ability to select cancel for any reason as an optional upgrade, as long as you purchase the policy within 21 days of your initial trip deposit date. Now, a helpful hint, if you were to make your trip deposit date today, October 27th, tomorrow, October 28th, starts that 21-day window. So it's the day technically after your deposit date. You have a 3-week period where if you decide you want that more enhanced coverage, you can certainly purchase that. One of the other caveats is that you must cancel your trip if it's for a non-covered reason, 48 hours or more before your scheduled departure. Now, you might ask, well, what are some examples as to why I would purchase cancel for any reason? Number one, that's still applicable, truly is the fear of the coronavirus, right? Mm-hmm. If it's folks that are just worried about their own safety, health, and well-being, which is totally understandable in this environment still, they just want to play it safe and decide, I don't want to go on my trip, but I do have non-refundables at stake. As long as you're canceling 48 hours or more before your scheduled departure, you can truly cancel for any reason at all. If your pet gets sick before your trip, that's a non-covered reason. If you're BELVIN working with the honeymoon couple and unfortunately things go south before the trip takes place, that's a non-covered reason. So any of those types of instances, just to name a few, It's better to have that, as we say, added peace of mind, knowing if I have a bad hair day, my pet is sick, or something along those lines that's going to prohibit me from traveling, you have the ability to purchase it.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, you talked about the wedding situation. I mean, we've had a few, well, not personally, but, a few times in the industry where something comes up between the potential newlyweds and they found out something and the wedding is off. And it's not that it's just the traveler's fault, the guests who are trying to go to the wedding, now they're, what are they going to do? Are they just going to go and have a vacation? Or some people may want to just cancel and try to get their money back. So this will cover you in those type of situations. And that's always good to know. And a great thing, I think you stated, so you have 21 days after the first initial deposit to buy this coverage. Is that correct?
Correct. You have 21 days, which is of the longest time frame really in the industry.
Yeah.
Look at some other. You're right. So you look at some other providers, typically it's a 2-week maximum, but having that additional week, having a full 3 weeks to decide if you want that coverage is certainly a great idea. So yeah, you've got 21 days to make that decision.
Yeah, that's good to know, because I've worked with some where you have to do it the exact same day you make that deposit, maybe one day after if they're feeling lenient, but nowhere close to 21 days. That is a good policy there. That's always good to know. Let's kind of talk about the two main policies under Travel Insured. You were talking about the World Protector program. Can you kind of describe, is World Protector, and if I'm not mistaken, World Protector Plus, is that it? So can you describe those policies?
Yeah. So our core products that we offer for 45 approved states. So there's 5 states that have a little different rules and regulations, but for majority of the United States, you have the Worldwide Trip Protector and the Worldwide Trip Protector Edge.
I'm sorry, I said plus.
Yeah. Listen, plus is right. Plus is available for 4 out of those 5 states.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you're in, as of today on October 27th, if you're in Missouri, Montana, Pennsylvania, and Washington State, you do have that plus policy.
Okay.
But for majority of the world, you have the Worldwide Trip Protector and the Edge program. So they're very similar. They both have primary coverage, but they also both have standard reasons for cancellation, which can actually relate to a majority of the travelers. So do you want me to go into like the reasons for cancellation under that plan, or?
Well, yeah, just kind of give me the difference between, well, you already gave me, of course, the states that it covers, but kind of a little unique difference in the policies between those 3.
Absolutely. So the unique difference is really going to be your overall benefit limits. Okay. So for example, the Worldwide Trip Protector, if you have a client who wants a standard package that has the lowest time triggers for delays, meaning I only have to be delayed for 3 hours before my benefits kick in, they want primary coverage, they want top of the line protection policies, and the most a la carte that you can build, that's going to be your Worldwide Trip Protector.
Okay.
Your Worldwide Trip Protector is also going to be your plan that gives you like the coverage for travel advisories or warnings for the guests that are attending weddings. If there is a cancellation of a destination wedding, if there are issues with having the client's passports or visas issued, if there's a terrorist attack, hurricanes, and so on, that's going to be your Worldwide Trip Protector.
All right.
Now, the Edge program was introduced to kind of give you that midline coverage. So travelers wanted some insurance, but they didn't want, say, like the $1 million worth of medical evacuation, or they didn't need the 18 plus reasons for cancellation. So with the Edge program, it has a lower limits. So it's kind of shaped, but not exclusively made for domestic travel. Mm-hmm. And it also provides the clients with about 18 standard reasons for cancellation, meaning things like a sickness, if there's strike, if they have to work during their vacation time, they can upgrade their plan to that. So that Edge program is really your, I don't want to call it bare bones because it's so much more than that, but it's your standard policy that is super affordable, that gives you those lower limits to give you some coverage so you're not traveling without any coverage.
Okay. Got it. And that's good to know. So when it comes to that, as a travel advisor, I'm providing this insurance to my clients and future clients, and I always tell them to always make sure you get travel insurance. When it comes to it, let's say, for example, how easy is it if I was able to give them a link to look at the different coverages. How easy would it be for them to purchase this? Well, can you kind of walk us through that process, Ashley or Chris? Right.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty easy process. If you provide that purchase link that we've talked about, Belvin, the client has the ability to go into, they're redirected to travelinsured.com. We're going to ask for their scheduled departure city. So if they're going to St. Lucia, ask, for their destination. We will then ask for their state of residence, their age, their trip cost, and their departure return date, and additionally their initial trip deposit. So that's really the points of interest that we require. Once they enter in their applicable information there, the plan will redirect, and then they'll get a specific plan option based upon the state of residence that they live in. So if they're in Georgia, they will see most likely the Worldwide Trip Protector or the Worldwide Trip Protector Edge. The beautiful thing with the website is if you were to click through the details tab, it gives you a great description of coverage of the benefits, the cancellation reasons, the interruption reasons. So you can truly sift through each and every reason, and it gives you a fantastic description of coverage. And then additionally, when you get to the details tab, you'll see the listing of optional benefit upgrades. So if you wanted to see, okay, so if I wanted to purchase cancel for any reason, how much is that going to cost? You can check that option, and then your quote will simultaneously refresh. If you decide you don't want it, you can uncheck the box. The quote will go down to its original price. And then from there, you can click through the purchase path and purchase the plan that works for you. As long as the client is inputting their email address, they will get a copy of benefits and a copy of plan documents upon plan purchase. So it's a rather easy process. And certainly they have you as their trusted travel advisor to kind of walk them through and say, hey, Belvin, what types of plans do you normally offer to clients? What's most popular given my type of trip arrangement? It's really an ease of use type of thing because we've got all the details listed on the website where you can really dig through each nook and cranny to see exactly what you're looking for.
Well, that's great to know. And just like I said, I talk with my clients personally, and we put together a plan for the best travel insurance for them, and we will provide them with the details. But for my listeners here who are on the You Deserve a Luxury Vacation podcast, what I'm going to do is put a specialized link in the description with Travel Insured, and it will have all the detailed information that we discussed in this podcast. And you will be able to purchase travel insurance from there. So let's just say you're on that trip right now, you've already booked, and heck, maybe you did a bad thing and didn't book with Showtime Travel, but you still want insurance. We have a special link for you that I work with my partners here at Travel Insured, and we're going to have a specialized link, and we're going to talk about each of those travel policies that we discussed, and it's right there for you to be able to book. But you also have my contact information if you have any questions to give me a call. So that will help as well. If you can briefly kind of give them a brief overview of who is Travel Insured, and just give me 2 minutes of why they should know about Travel Insured.
Well, I will defer to Ashley on that one because she has a unique connection to our organization.
Well, thanks, Chris. So Travel Insured was started in 1994, a little bit of background, and it was started by a gentleman named Peter Garris, and it was started in East Hartford, Connecticut. So it branched off the Travelers because Pete worked at Travelers for years and then decided to take the travel insurance division to open Travel Insured. One unique thing about Travel Insured is we built our company on core values that have to do with fostering a fun and positive family spirit, having open and honest communication with our clientele and fellow coworkers. And it truly was designed to be a family-based company. And we have exclusive relationships with our agency partners, but also with our clientele. So the reason I keep honing in on the fact that we're like a big family, because my last name is Garris. So I am a third generation Garris at Travel Insured. John Garris is our current COO, and that's my dad. And then I've been with Travel Insured since about 2006. So there as an intern and just continue to be with the company. But Travel Insured is a trusted travel insurance provider out in the industry, and we pride ourselves on being more than travel insurance. We consider ourselves to be a travel industry partner because we keep up to date with our agency partners of what's going on with the travel industry. We also take every piece of information coming our way from our partners about what their clients are looking for with insurance, and we built that into our plans. So why Travel Insured? Because when you take a Travel Insured policy, you're part of our family here, and we're always here to help you along the way with anything you may need.
Well, that's good to know. And also just talk about the financial backing. I know a lot of people, when they think of family, they think, oh, okay, it's family, but do they have the financial backing? So go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you for bringing that up, because for the longest time, people would say, oh, it's family company. So like, how are you going to pay my claims and all that good stuff, right? So in 2015, John actually sold our company to Crum & Forster. And Crum & Forster is part of a larger company called Fairfax Financial. And all you need to know about Fairfax Financial really is that their owner, Prem Watsa, is like the Warren Buffett of Canada. So with that being said, we have this gorgeous financial backing to really help us get through the pandemic, because to be completely honest, a family-run company would have not made it through a pandemic. That was an absolute insane time for anyone in insurance. So with having Prem and Fairfax and Crum backing us, it's a beautiful blessing to make sure that our clients and our agency partners are taken care of.
Well, that's good to know. Good to know that you're with the Warren Buffett of Canada. So that means you have a great financial backing. Well, that's great. Well, I just want to thank you all for taking the time to really come on here on the You Deserve a Luxury Vacation podcast. As I stated before, you're going to see the link in the description there to make those bookings, but you can also contact us at Showtime Travel. Just visit showtimetravel.com if you have any questions. And we're going to make sure that, you're going to get a quote with all the packages that we design, all the great luxury travel packages that we design. So once again, thank you, Chris and Ashley, for taking the time out. And I'm pretty sure we may have a part 2 of this once everybody gets started, and we possibly do a part 2. You never know. We'll see what the listeners say. So thank you again, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We'd love to be a part of another series.
All right. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
Hey, busy professionals, thank you for listening to the You Deserve a Luxury Vacation podcast. If you like the show, make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. This helps other busy professionals like yourself find the podcast. If you want help planning a luxury vacation, please visit showtimetravel.com. Also, you will be able to get more valuable tips and behind-the-scenes footage by following me on social media. You can find me on YouTube under Showtime Travel, LinkedIn under BELVIN Baldwin II, Instagram under Showtime Travel, and my personal Luxury Travel by Belvin. Thanks again, and remember, you deserve a luxury vacation.